This is a very short intro, but if you would like to see how I did this full face using only Milk makeup and the Jaclyn Hill Vault, then go ahead and keep watching. I definitely took full advantage of the 20% off for VIB Rouge a few weeks back and got all of these products for a great deal. So right now I'm just taking the blurring primer and running it all over my face. I should have just placed this in my T-zone, but that's something that I will keep in mind for the next time that I do my makeup. Next, I'm taking the Blur Liquid Matte Foundation in the shade Cream and just placing that all over my face. I was really excited to try out these foundations, and I was finally able to because Milk came out with 2 lighter shades, and I actually might have to exchange this shade for the lightest one because I think that one is a little more neutral and this one is a little more on the yellow and warm side. I will also take the time to say that I would have probably enjoyed this foundation more blended in with a sponge rather than trying to blend it out with a brush. Next, I'm taking the Flex Concealer in the shade Porcelain and placing that underneath my eyes, on the bridge and tip of my nose, on the sides next to my nostrils, on my chin, and on my forehead, and then I'm just going to take a Real Technique sponge and blend all of that out. I wouldn't necessarily call this concealer full coverage, but it did blend out really effortlessly and beautifully on top of the foundation, and it didn't leave my skin looking cakey at all throughout the day, which I really appreciated. Next, I'm just taking the Blur and Set matte powder and placing that underneath my eyes, on my forehead, and anywhere else on my face where I have problem creasing throughout the day. Next, I am just taking my Broken matte bronzer in the shade Baked and placing that where I would usually do my contour, and I'm just going to take a Furless Cosmetics contour brush and blend that out. I was really surprised with how creamy the product was since it's supposed to be mattifying, but it looked really airbrushed and I loved the way that it turned out. And then I'm just taking a little bit more of that bronzer and blending it out on my forehead very gently to make sure that I don't disturb any of the foundation underneath it or make any of the product flake away. Next, I am just taking my Broken lip and cheek stick in the shade Work and just dotting that all over my cheeks and a little bit on my nose and chin. And then I'm just going to take a Furless Cosmetics blush brush and blend all of that out. And next, I tried to take the stick highlighter in the shade Lit and place that in the normal area you would for highlight. But even trying to apply it with my finger didn't really make it show up at all, and then trying to apply it directly just sort of disturbed the product underneath it. So I just took my Ofra highlighter in the shade Pillow Talk and placed that all over my face. Now I'm just going to go in with the Kush Fiber Brow Mascara and just comb that through my brows. This is in the shade Grind. There are 3 different shades and this is the darkest. I probably could have gotten away with using the second darkest shade, but this one's really nice too. For my eyes, I'm taking Bling Boss from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and first I'm taking Hush Hush and just sweeping that all over my lid and up into my crease. Next, I'm taking the shade Ballsy and sweeping that all across my lid just to give my eye a little bit of shimmer. Next, I'm taking the shade Rockstar and really just focusing it on the outer corner and sweeping it into the crease, blending and diffusing it a little bit just so there's no harsh lines. Next, I'm taking the shade Bling Bling and just focusing that on the inner portion of my lid and taking Rockstar to deepen up the crease and the outer corner one more time. I also blended Rockstar on the lower lash line as well, just to really bring the whole look together and make it look a little more dramatic. To finish up the rest of this eye look, I'm using the Kush mascara. I really liked this formula. It wasn't cakey or clumping. It was really nice to work with. It lifted and curled my lashes for most of the day. It didn't transfer onto my skin at all. And now enjoy me applying lipstick and removing it because I hated it for 30 minutes straight. And that is the finished look. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Go ahead and leave me some feedback, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one.